guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, it's going to be on a little serious note, and we're talking about my adoption process, me going through trying to adopt and what really went wrong. So it's been 2 years now since I actually had a placement into my home. It didn't work out. And I, of course, recorded videos about it and posted videos about it. I wrote a blog post about it, just explaining, you know, the process and the journey. I had a lot of people ask me questions about the process, since I was trying to do it as a single individual. Other single people who wanted to look into adoption or who were thinking about adopting, as well as couples who were looking into the adoption process. So I just thought, you know, I would just go ahead and share it and to make a video about it because I knew the story would be long. So I'm not going to go into all the details because, of course, you can go back to that video and watch it, and I don't want this to be another long video. But a lot of people were still questioning, well, what really happened? I received 2 children, brother and sister. So I received the 2 oldest out of 4 kids total. They were 4 and 3 years old. The younger 2 were 2 and 1. The younger 2 were girls. Mine were a boy and a girl. And the way the process happened, on like a Monday in January, I got a phone call from my adoption worker saying that, you know, the sibling set was going to come up and they were looking to place them immediately. Would I be interested? She told me their age, and of course I was interested. I knew that that June my license for adoption would expire and that I was not going to renew because I was not being matched with any of the kids that I had applied for, and I've come to the conclusion that it was because I was single. One of the little girls was physically abused in a sexual manner, and they were telling me how she shouldn't be around like my male friends or anything, but yet they still placed her in a home that had a married male and female. So it was kind of like, well, you're telling me she shouldn't be around men, but yet you're still putting her in a home with a man instead of giving her to me, which I thought would have made the most sense because single female. But I was passed up for her. I was passed up for a brother set who went to a married couple. So pretty much every child that I submitted for, or every set of siblings that I submitted for, I was passed up by a married couple. So here we are with this set, and it was me, another single person, as well as a married couple that were going the top 3, I guess you would say, for them. And I was matched. And I really believe it was because my adoption worker knew that I was going to stop the process. And that I was not going to renew my license, and she wanted to make sure that I got matched. She pretty much said that without coming out and saying that directly. So she put in a good word for me so that I would get the kids. When speaking to the other 2 parties, one of them I knew, the single lady I knew, and then I ended up meeting a married couple later on. They were not even interviewed for them. They heard about them, but they didn't even get interviewed for them. So therefore I know that the only reason why I got them was because I pretty much told her, you know, I'm done. That's it. The way adoption normally works when you're going through foster care, I don't know if this is how it is for any type of adoption, but going through foster care, you get to meet the kids, you spend a few hours with them, and then like a week or 2 later you spend a little more time, maybe like the whole day with them. Then you do an overnighter, and then I want to say you get a week with them before you decide if it's a match. I didn't get that opportunity. I met them when I went to pick them up. That was my first opportunity. So I didn't have that chance to really build a bond with them and get to see if it was a good match. So a lot of people get on me like, well, how could you give them up? Me getting them, that was my time to determine if there was going to be a bond. And like I said, I didn't have that time beforehand, so it was kind of like, oh, here's your kids. There you go. When I went to get them, their mother was there. I had been told that their mother was out of the picture, so here I am with their mom crying. and I found out that they have all these other illnesses and everything else that I was told they did not have. Of course, that wasn't my deciding factor, but the mom being there and I was told she was not in their lives, that was part of my, I think that was probably the starting point. But on my way to pick them up, I had bad vibes. Like, I just kept getting this feeling that I should just turn around and go home. So that was red flag 1. Red flag 2 was mom being there. So I get the kids, they get in my car, they already call me mommy, and I'm still like, oh my gosh, is this really happening? And I know that mom wants them. Their mom still wants them. So I had them for, I think, a little over 2 months. Throughout that time period, I got so depressed. And I came up with the term post-placement depression. So I had PPD after my adoption placement, where I got so depressed that I was worried about how that would affect the kids. I was worried about how I would treat them. I know that I was not nice, to say the least. Like, I was just really worried about their safety. I was worried about what would happen to me. Like, a lot of stuff was just going on where I was really just fearful of what that would mean for my future, because I was in such a dark place that I did not know how I was going to treat them or mistreat them or anything. Thankfully, I did not, you know, mistreat them in any harmful ways. I still took care of them. I still, you know, fed them, bathed them, clothed them, you know, like, I still did those basic things. But the most important thing that a child needs is love and unconditional love, and I was not able to give it to them. Once I saw how dark of a place I was heading, that was when I said, enough is enough. This isn't working. Like, this is driving me insane, where I am so depressed that had been the deepest depression I had faced in years. I suffered with depression in my 20s, and thankfully it was, you know, more so dealing with my cycle, and I just didn't realize it until, like, after I started tracking when I got depressed. So I hadn't dealt with depression outside of my cycle. So going through that, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to respond. I didn't know, like, I just thought something was wrong with me. Like, I wanted to be a mom so much, and here I am given this opportunity. Yeah, there was so many red flags, but I was given this opportunity, and I was not, it wasn't what I wanted it to be. It wasn't what I expected it to be. It wasn't what I thought it would be. And before the children became too connected to me, so I knew the best thing for me to do was to call their caseworker and say, hey, this is not working. And, like, they tried to persuade me to keep them and to just give it time, and I'm like, think about it. I've had them, I think at that point it had been a month. I was like, I had them for 4 weeks straight. Normally, if you look at the time frame that people get, hour here, half day here, whole day here, overnight here, I've had them longer to decide if there was a connection than most people do before they say, yay, I want that child. So, like, I knew at that point that it just wasn't healthy for either parties. If you have had your own children and you've had postpartum depression, you know, like, you know what a dark place that is. You know how scary that could be for you, even if you're not, like, in a mental capacity to fully understand what's going on. If you know someone in your family who's dealt with that, then you know how horrible of a situation that could be for them and for that baby or for that child. So for me to be feeling those feelings, for children who were old enough to comprehend what was going on, like, I had to do what was best for them at the end of the day, which was the most important thing, and I had to do what was best for me and to make sure that I stayed sane and I didn't do something that I, you know, like, I would have thought I wouldn't have been capable of doing. But when you're in a dark place like that, you just never know. Like, I've heard too many horror stories of parents doing harmful things to their kids, and I did not want to be in that situation. So when it got that dark, I said enough is enough. And that was pretty much the reason why I said maybe adoption just isn't for me right now. You know, yeah, the kids needed a place to live, but they needed a safe, loving environment to live in, not just a home. Like, no one should grow up in a home where they are not loved or treated the way they need to be treated. I just know as the days went on, it got darker and darker and darker for me, and I just wasn't willing to sacrifice their life and their safety and their happiness because I wanted to be a mom. Like, that would just be so selfish for me to do that. And I also didn't want to sacrifice my life because, again, I've never been like that before, so I had no clue what that would do for me, what that would do to me, and what could possibly happen with them. I just knew that I was in a dark place and I was hating my life. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. But yeah, so that's it, y'all. That is the real deal as to why that placement didn't work and why that bond just didn't work out. So there you have it. Alright guys, if you are new to the channel, this is your first time watching this video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Head over to my new channel where I link videos that are associated more so with just lifestyle and connected to my blog, accordingtotish.com. So go ahead and I'll link that up here so you can head over there and hit that subscribe button at that channel as well. I love you guys. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye. And it's time.